Get your glasses up. Get your glasses up. A toast to the men.
Welcome to a Toast to the Men Network with your guy SD. Thanks for joining me. Toasters, I want to touch on an interview I saw with Mrs. Naiajackson. And this is the ex-wife of Derrick Jaxn, I guess you could say the self-proclaimed relationship guru who really was an advocate and a champion and um, I don't say a caper, but for women. Yeah, he really, you know, supported women or patronized them, pandered to women. And he was huge. I think he still has a huge platform, I'm not really sure. But um, at his peak, he had gained a lot of momentum. And it somewhat took a fall. I wouldn't say it totally crashed, but it did come to somewhat of a fall when he was caught in somewhat of a scandal. Um, it was made public that a married man at the time was seeing different women, sleeping with different women, and it went totally against the image he was putting out there. It went totally against um, the berating he would give men. He was really harsh on men and really pandered to women. And when this came out, this was made public. It was a huge scandal in that world, in that social media world, and he took somewhat a fall. Um, but yeah, I knew it was gonna happen. Yeah, I knew it was gonna happen. He was too heavy on one side, and you got a lot of people like that. Not just him who pander to women. You got people who are heavy into pandering to men. Even some women. This was it Just Pearly? Yeah, she panders to men. And I was telling someone, I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. It sounds like she's kind of red pill and she supports men. It sounds like she gets it. I said, but I see no objectivity in her platform. I see no objectivity ever really in her stance. It's going against women and bringing out their flaws and insecurities, holding them accountable, but never really holding men accountable, really pandering heavily to men. And even though I'm a man, it makes me, leery. It makes me think you have a hidden agenda and you go so hard on one side and can never really show some objectivity. And so that's just the way I think, and I know it makes for good TV and you share a lot of views when you're so dynamic and weigh so heavily on one side. And you choose a side, and you go in on that side, you support that side, win, lose, or draw, and you don't show any objectivity. I know there's an audience for that, but just the way my mind works, the way my spirit works, I do have stances, but I'm always objective. I always try to be objective and see the full view. And I've always been like that, since a kid. I've clashed with my mom as a child because I wouldn't side with her opinion. I wouldn't support her opinion about my absentee father, who didn't play a part in my life, but I wouldn't side with the narrative she was trying to sell me. Uh, at 12, I said, well, Mom, I hear you, but I hadn't heard his side of the story. So I got to hear his side of the story. And that pissed her off right there. But that's always been me. And so when I see people that lean so heavily on one side, it just makes me question things and causes a distrust within me towards the person. Even though they may have some nuggets in what they're saying, but it's like, what spirit is this rooted in? Because you never go in on the other side. So yeah, and that's what Derrick Jaxn based his platform on. And I'm telling you what's so ironic. His wife, his ex-wife, Naiajackson, was on this platform, my future wifey, and this guy, the host, was the same way. He was pandering to this woman. He laughed when there was nothing to laugh about, just out of the blue. Um, he didn't ask her to expound on anything. He didn't question her motives, her decisions in a contentious way or just a resistance way, giving some resistance, just holding her accountable, saying she could have done anything different and where did she fail? I know women don't like that question to be asked when they're somewhat in a situation like this. What could they have done differently? Because they want to put all the blame on this man, on the man they're dealing with. And they feel like if they look within, if they look in the mirror and be honest with themselves and say, what in me drew this person to me? What in me was attracted and drawn to this person? I think they believe if they ask that question, they have to make some hard choices, some hard decisions, to make some tough changes within their life. But also, they don't want you. They don't want me asking them that question because they get defensive and they feel like we're trying to absolve this person that they have an issue with, absolve this person of their wrongdoing. And that's just not the case. At least not in my book, where I'm coming from, in my spirit. Um, I look at things objectively, like I said. So if you're drawn to this kind of person, there's something in you that needs to change. There's something with your frequency that needs to change, with your vibration. I always used to wonder when I would hear people say, men or women, say, every person I've ever been with has cheated on me, or every person I've ever been with has abused me, or has stolen from me. I always question, like, how does that even happen? Like, every person? And these people never take the time to look within and say, there's something in me that's drawing these types of people to me. There's something with my frequency that I need to change. I need to adjust. And you can't say that. You can't suggest that because they'll get defensive and they'll accuse you of blaming them and absolving the other person. But if I told you my house, my home was burglarized, broken into 10 times in 1 year, you would ask me what changes did I make? Did I make any changes? What adjustments? Uh, what precautions did I take to protect myself, to try to ensure that this doesn't happen again? It would be a natural, reasonable question. If I told you I didn't make any changes after each burglary, I didn't do anything. I didn't make any changes. I didn't investigate. I didn't look into what I could have done better. I didn't see if there was any cracks or openings in my security. I didn't check anything. You would call me stupid. You would call me stupid. You would forget about the burglars. You would call me stupid. Maybe not out loud, but you certainly would be thinking it. But when people, and primarily women, run into the same types of dudes or they run into unhealthy relationships, we never want to ask them to look into the mirror. We automatically put them in this victim box. And no one's 100% victim. I just don't believe that. And I don't think no one's 100% villain. I don't believe it. But we allow women to do that. And salute to the women who've grown from that and no longer take that position. Because I know it's tough because this society, they enable you and make it easy for you to do that. It really is a handicap. But salute to the woman who can say, yeah, I went through that. That person was wrong. That person had his issues. But I took the time to look within myself and say, and ask the question, what part did I play in this? If not, you're going to keep running into the same people, into the same energy. You're going to draw the same energy because you're on the same frequency. You hadn't made a change. You hadn't rotated the dial to get a different frequency. And so that's imperative that not just women, although we're talking about women in this regard, but all people. And we got to look within and see, do we need to adjust the dial to get a different frequency? But this gentleman that was interviewing her, he's part of the problem. He's no different as far as his approach. I don't know about his private life, but as far as his approach, he's no different than her ex-husband, pandering to her. No objectivity, not asking the tough questions. It got so bad at one point, he told her, there are women that have been through less than you and have lost their minds. Let me repeat that. He told her, there are women who have experienced less than you that have lost their minds. And basically, he was saying, you're a strong woman. But why not take the approach, the position? There are women who have experienced more than you and persevered. So you can too. You see the difference? You see the one's pandering, one's a victim, one's holding accountable, a victor, negativity, positivity. Yeah, he's no better than her husband as far as his approach. Like I said, not just come out on this guy's private life, but he's pandering too. And this guy was just laughing for no apparent reason. Um, it was wild. It was wild to witness. And he wanted to make her out to be a victim, and she accepted that role. But if you listen, she knew what she was getting into. She said Derrick Jaxn had many women while they were dating, and she knew things. She knew the things he was doing while they were dating before they were married. She knew. So she needs to ask herself, why did she continue dating? And why did she marry him? Because she knew beforehand. I'm listening to this interview, and she knows all this stuff that he's doing, but she really want to address it. She's passive aggressive, which is a problem. She want to address him directly on it. Why not? Why not address him? Are you scared that you will lose your financial stability? So why not? but I'm listening. She knows he's having sex with several women. He's cheating, but she's getting pregnant. So she's having unprotected sex with them. And she doesn't know, but she knows. She knows a guy. She knows if he's having protected, unprotected sex out there. She knows. Because she knows how he dealt with her in the beginning while they were dating. If any protection was pulled out. She knows. But we allow women, to play naive and dumb and don't take accountability. But this woman knew very well what she was getting into. But she would not admit her motives as to why she moved forward with the relationship. She won't just come out with it. But if you listen, um, she took a lot of pride, and there was a lot of excitement when she mentioned the neighborhood they stayed in and the mansion they lived in and the type of financial security that was afforded to her. I think things changed when he was staying away from home too much and she wasn't getting the light that she wanted. The money wasn't enough after a while. She wanted to be validated. She wanted people to know that she did exist. Validation. Women must have validation. So the superficial thing, the money, it only went so far. But what she really wanted was attention and love. But she won't just come out and say that. That in the beginning, it was the money, it was the financial stability that really had her locked in. And she was willing to accept some philandering. And then women will change also when kids are born too. That would change. The values would change a lot of times. But the only one that changed was her. Derrick Jaxn was true to who he came in in as on the scene. How he stepped in on the scene, he was true to that person. He didn't change. He was exactly who he was when she met him. She changed. And I'm not saying she shouldn't have changed. Well, what I'm saying is she's not a victim. She knew what was going on. And I don't believe Derrick Jaxn is a total villain either, man, because, and this will probably never come out maybe, but we gotta ask, what did he go through? Not just in the marriage, but his childhood, because she mentioned things she went through her childhood. Uh, Absentee father, she said she had father issues, daddy issues. There was some abuse, some sexual abuse she experienced, but what did he experience as a child? See, nobody wants to ask that, nobody cares, because the man doesn't get to play the victim role. It's not in his best interest to even come out with that. They're gonna say it's disingenuous, it's being fake. Now he wants to come out with this. Oh, she came out with her story. Now he wants some sympathy. Why didn't he come out with his story before she came out with hers? It's a lose lose. But nobody wants to hear that from a man. So he'll never come out and address her flaws as a wife. It's a lose lose. Nobody wants to hear it. People are cool with the woman exposing the flaws of the man, but nobody wants to hear the man complaining and whining. Um, it is what it is. So that'll never change. I'm not saying it should change, but we're gonna call a spade a spade. I know a lot of women think they're good women because they're faithful sexually. but they commit infidelity in different ways. Their energy, their tongue, uh, um, their commitment to the house, to the husband. But they'll say they're good women because they don't cheat sexually. No, it takes more than that to be classified as a good woman. Just read Proverbs 31. Yeah, it takes a lot more than that. Actually, a woman being faithful should be a given. But yeah, it was just kind of funny to me in a weird way when I was watching that, and I was more disgusted with the interviewer. I was like, man, this is Derrick Jaxn, man, and I don't even know if she sees it or cares. It's like he's doing the same thing your ex-husband was doing for years. But hey, it is what it is. But I hope the best for them. Hope there's healing. And I was reading some of the comments, and people were saying he'll never find a woman like her. But one, you don't even know this woman. You don't know this woman. And for two, he possibly could find something that's a better fit for him. I won't say a better woman, but a better fit for him. Possible. And she could possibly find someone that's a better fit for her. So yeah, it ain't the end of the world. Life goes on. But let me know what y'all think, toasters. As always, from me to you, love. Peace.